Communication isn't complete unless there is understanding, and this happens to be the challenge of the Nigerian people. Many Nigerians speak fluently and understand Pidgin English. Hence, the debate of making Pidgin the Nigerian lingua franca as opposed to standard English, which is already in place. Today on Street Smarts, we would be asking the Nigerian people what their opinion is about making Pidgin English the Nigerian lingua franca. Come with us.
Because a lot of people in Nigeria communicate better with Pidgin English, and some people do not speak English well, and because of that, they find it difficult communicating in many occasions. So, do you think it's going to be appropriate and better for Nigeria to change her official language to Pidgin?
It's in both ways. We can change to Pidgin and we can still continue doing the speaking the correct English.
I don't think so.
Why don't you think so?
I feel like it will affect, it will have its own negative side, to have its own side effects.
To me, I will not totally agree to that. The reason is when we talk about official language, we should consider other countries as well, neighboring countries and other countries that speak other languages that we don't speak here.
Pidgin English is a kind of communication system that we have in Nigeria right now. Even not only in Nigeria, I saw some Ghanaians, some Cameroonians still speak Pidgin. I feel it's a general language. Even if you are not educated, you can still speak Pidgin. But officially, I don't think we should. I don't think we should use it as our official language.
I think it's okay to make Pidgin our official language since it's something that is understood by Nigeria. Nigeria is a country that has a lot of culture and different languages, so it makes it harder or difficult for us to unite because there are like diversities. So English, Pidgin language or Pidgin English is something that everybody has in common. So making it our lingua franca makes it easier to communicate.
Yes. Why do you think so?
Because most of people too, they speak Pidgin English. So most of people do not understand. They can't speak the main English. So I suggest we should continue with the Pidgin English. So
actually, this English language, this British Standard English, is not our traditional language. So that's our traditional language is Wazobia. So if we actually standardize the Pidgin English in Nigeria, it's very, very good because American English, what we call American English, the standard American English now is Pidgin. It's not the standard British English. And America was colonized by the British, by the Great Britain. So we can actually, we should not see it as a substandard language. We should actually standardize it because it's just about the charisma. It's just about the charisma. It's not about the science or the linguistic aspect of it. It's just about the charisma. Nigeria should just take up that boldness and standardize language because America, the American English is not a standard language. An American man can say in a professional setting, in fact, in a job interview, he can say you were sitting down there, and it's very, very okay. It's very, very, very standard as regards to their standard. Let me put it like that. So we should actually standardize it. I've actually been thinking about it because I did linguistics in the University of Benin. So this is a very interesting question. We should actually standardize it, and we should advocate for that.
In Nigeria, many people speak Pidgin English better, and it's really a communication style that many people understand, and it's easy. But people struggle a lot of times. Some people struggle to speak English. So do you think it's better that the Nigeria's official language is turned to Pidgin to help communication and to help us not understand ourselves better? What's your opinion?
My opinion on that is Pidgin English should be our because let me just say Pidgin English and English are almost the same thing, but it's very difficult for people to speak the correct, which is the British English. So many parts of Nigeria speak Pidgin English. So for me, my opinion, it should be our general language.
Why? Because Pidgin English is like we Nigerians, we brought about Pidgin English. And for me, it's going on so well. And without Pidgin English, most of us Nigerians who doesn't even have, let's say, the means to go to school, we still get to express ourselves more fluently with the help of Pidgin English. So as for me, I'll say Pidgin English is still great. Besides, Pidgin English is now going globally, if you'd ask me, because it's going to where we never expected it would. So it's good and it's simple. So that's it. That's my own opinion.
From my thoughts, if we are to make it just pidgin English, I feel like we won't be able to communicate internationally. Because just imagine going for an interview for a company that is owned by whites, and you are communicating in pidgin. So the communication cannot flow well when we are doing it in pidgin English. But to be honest, I feel it would be nice and fun if we make our official language pidgin English. Why? Is because if you go to the north, I served in the northern part of Nigeria. If you go to the north, they communicate more with Hausas. So I feel if it is pidgin English, it will be easier for them to, to speak this language and the pidgin English and understand ourselves. And also, if we can make it a general language, just like other countries that they have their general language as French and other languages, we can make pidgin our general language. It will be fun. It will be fun just for us as Nigerians.
Yeah, I think if we make pidgin our official language, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, it's what everybody understand, and I think people communicate. Well, most people I know communicate better in pidgin than English. I mean, you can see maybe all those women in the market or just people. They don't necessarily have to communicate. I mean, it's not like they understand English like that, but when you speak to them in pidgin, bike men, people like that, I think if we make pidgin our language, I don't think there's anything wrong.
So I don't see the reason why we need to beat ourselves or force our children or any other person to speak Queen's English. Pidgin is what we all understand. In fact, without even being indoctrinated, it's already the official language on the street that you can use to communicate with anybody. Even most of us that are educated, we still communicate with each other with pidgin English. So I think if we can make it our lingua franca, there's nothing. If it's our lingua, general language, there's nothing bad in it.
Why do you say no?
Because it is not normal for you to be speaking pidgin every time. If you go to school, that's when you can understand English better. But speaking pidgin is very wrong.
What I, as a person, could advocate for is allow people to speak their indigenous language. That's easier than going to speak pidgin. People from other countries as well speak their indigenous language as their official language. And I heard that at one time in 2022 or thereabouts, the government was looking at asking children in primary school, at least before secondary school, to be educated in their indigenous language only until they get to secondary school when they start speaking English. Now, it's not going to be easy. It's going to mean training a lot of people that will be teaching those languages, but I think it will be easier to get people understood that way. I think we always also allow people to develop a respect for our own language as well.
I don't have any opinion, but what would say that I don't want pidgin to be our language, our official language. You can use it to do nonsense, to talk with friends. But when it comes to writing, when you write English, it makes you look more responsible. Writing pidgin as a whole is just like total nonsense.
No, that's like backwardness. It's not. We can speak pidgin like the way everybody can maintain their first language, your Yoruba, your Igbo, Hausa. You can speak pidgin too, but it shouldn't be like our official language. That will not make sense at all.
Yeah, I think it should be okay. Since Like majority of the population actually understand Pidgin more than English. So yes, I think it's okay. So and besides, I think English is not even really supposed to be our official language. So yes.
So we get to speak a lot of pidgin in Nigeria and we communicate in that manner because it's easier for us to understand ourselves, and even people who are not well educated can still communicate using pidgin English. So do you think it's okay for us to change pidgin to our official language in Nigeria?
I think honestly, it's like a personal choice for me. Um, I say that because most people don't really understand like fluent English, so it's okay for them to speak pidgin. Yeah. So for me, I'm going to say fluent English, no pidgin.
I say no because if you start to make pidgin the official language, then what happens to English that the younger generation is learning in schools? They'll be like, okay, since we are not speaking English again in Nigeria, there's no need for me to learn English. And there are some places we go to that that you cannot speak pidgin here. It's inappropriate. Like maybe go for a conference or a convention or maybe an international stuff that is held here in Nigeria, you can't speak pidgin there. You have to speak sound English. So I feel like if you make pidgin English the official one, it will now, dissolve all the English that we know, and it will start causing some problems in communication because as I speak to you now, there are so many white people here in Nigeria and I'm not sure they understand pidgin. So it's better we learn how to speak English. But we can also learn how to speak pidgin. So I feel like it should just be balanced.
Well, in my opinion, I really don't know, but to an extent, what I understand is I think it should be because not everybody has the capability to comprehend the normal speaking English. And in some areas, I really don't know, but in most areas, like the not too, how will I put it? The not too civilized area, not all of them would be able to speak the normal spoken English. So I think to an extent, it should be.
First, why not? Yeah. It's a language, right? People speak pidgin. I mean, the Igbos prefer to communicate in pidgin and their language. So why should we hinder them? It's it's communication. So yeah, we speak Yoruba. There are different languages. So why should we now um keep pidgin out of it? It's good.
In as much as sometimes it's help to express your opinion about something, like to really give the expression, like you understand, like you dey craze. It really goes a long way when you are saying it, like unlike are you mad or are you crazy. So I think sometimes when it's like that also, it does not it's not a good thing for us to make it an official language because there are still some other people that does not even understand pidgin at all. So I'll still suggest English is even still better for us to continue our English as an official language. But normally it should be our dialect. As a Yoruba person, I should be able to communicate more in Yoruba. Even some Yoruba people does not even understand what their language is, even goes to Igbo. So for me, there's a saying that to get to a point that even the white people will come and teach us our language, and it's happening because some Brazilians are even teaching Yoruba now.
In my own perspective, I think every nation have their official language. We have Nigeria is known for the cultural language. We have the Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. So, but all these ethnic groups, everything still comprise in the same Nigeria. So if we use pidgin English as our official language, this will be better than using normal English. The English is for British people. Let them be using their English. I will use our own pidgin. It is known that Nigerians speak pidgin, so we should just accept it as our official language. Thank you.
And if we are using pidgin as our official language, you're going to be teaching pidgin in schools too. So is it okay like that?
It is. it is. If we are embracing it, we should embrace it wholly and not partly. Let's just accept it that okay, this is our official language if we are accepting it, but not if we are not, it's still fine anyways.
Almost everybody can communicate in pidgin. Is it okay we make pidgin our official language?
The first question should be, what is communication? If communication is when you talk and somebody understands you, then if pidgin English is what every other person can understand in this Nigeria, then it's fine. That's our official language. What is the essence of speaking grammar when only few can understand you and only you can understand yourself? You talk to somebody and you think the person understands and he or she does not. So, have you communicated? Of course not. So, pidgin, please go. If Hausa is general, go. If Igbo is general, go. So far, there is communication, understanding, hearing, then you have communicated.
So if we're adopting pidgin as our official language, we're also going to be teaching it in schools. Is that okay?
Of course. Do you know that psychology proved that your mother tongue is better to learn than all these foreign languages? Have you seen interviews on YouTube, on international TVs where Ronaldo, all those people, they spoke in Portuguese languages, Argentine languages, they don't speak English. So what language do they use to teach them? Of course, they will have taught them in that language of that country, Portuguese language or French language or Arabic language. So mathematics, chemistry, I hope you even know the name chemistry is not even English. It's from alchem, which is an Arabic word. Alchem. So what are we talking about? In as much as Pidgin English is our lingua franca, then we teach every other thing in Pidgin English. That's how it goes.
The varying opinion of the Nigerian people showcases how integrated Pidgin English is in the Nigerian communication system. While some people are of the opinion that standard English should be maintained, some others strongly believe that native Nigerian languages should be made the official language. However, everyone seems to acknowledge that communication in Pidgin is more effective among the Nigerian people, despite the fact that Pidgin English is not yet the Nigerian lingua franca. And this is all we have today on Street Smart. For more interesting and insightful content, follow us across all our social media platforms. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until we meet again, keep watching Union Television.